Hello, my name is Dominique and this is Homesteading for Three. If you are new, I'm on my lunch break, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. I have been away from my garden for a weekend, and now what I am going to be doing is I'm actually leaving for Michigan, visiting my sister in Michigan tomorrow. So I'm going to be gone for a full week. My husband will be here, so he'll be able to help me maintain it a little bit, but I want to leave as much work for, or as little work for him as possible. So first, what I'm going to be doing quick while I'm on my lunch, and then I'll finish it the rest after work, is I'm taking my basket. I'm going to take any cherry tomatoes that are fully ripe off of here. And I've just actually collected the ones that I harvested over the last week or so, and I put them all in a Ziploc bag. I'm gonna freeze all of them, and then when I get back from vacation, I will turn them into something. So I am going to first just collect, like I said, the ones that are all orange, and then later we'll do more harvesting because there's a lot more in the garden that needs to be harvested. So yay. I mean, as you can see here, and I'm sorry about the trucks in the background, this is just how it is in the middle of the day, but there's a lot of orange in here. All of this orange will get picked. Okay, this is a lot. This is the most I've ever gotten in one harvest session from these so far. There are still more out there that are really, really close to being ready, but not quite orange enough for me to throw them in the freezer because they're not going to ripen anymore once I do that. But this is the bag of tomatoes that I have had sitting on my counter, and I put them in the bag today. And I'm going to add these to this bag so I can freeze them all. So we got a full freezer bag full of cherry tomatoes. So I'm going to throw this in the freezer and get back to work, and I will be back after work to do some more harvesting. All right, back. I'm done with work. And this area is my cucumbers. And I know that there are cucumbers in here. These are not looking great because they're not in irrigation, and I've been gone a couple times and I haven't gotten consistently watered like they should. So that's my bad. But there are cucumbers in here, so I'm gonna see what we can get. One. Two. Six. We got 6 from that bed. I got a couple pickling cucumbers from the grow bags. One of them does have some bug damage. My dog. But this one's pretty good. Okay, so I had to crawl into the bean thing to get the beans. Some of them are really in there, but I did get some beans. I also got my first non-cherry tomato that doesn't have blossom end rot on it. It's still got a little green on it, but that's okay. It'll ripen up. So cute. Okay, now we are moving on to onions. So behind me is my onion bed. I can tell just from the tops being out of the ground a little bit, that none of them are that huge. Some of them are a little bigger than others, but nowhere near like the size that you'd buy at a grocery store. So this is my first year growing onions. I started them as sets, if you saw that video. If you have any tips on how to get bigger bulbs next year, feel free to drop them in the comments. But we are going to harvest the onions. So from what I've read, you know that onions are ready when the necks snap and the leaves start to die, which is what's happening here. So I'm gonna pull one here. I mean, isn't that adorable? You know, obviously they're not huge, but that's okay. So we are going to let them cure for like, I think it said 4 to 6 weeks, so that they dry, and then that will give them a long shelf life. So we are just gonna leave them like this. I'm gonna collect them, and then I'm gonna let them cure in my basement because it is cool and shaded, and that's where I'm also curing my potatoes. About the same size. I'm just gonna line them up in a row, and then let's try our red onion. I did red onions and white onions. That one actually looks a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna pull them all out, and then we'll look and see how much we have. We did it. So I think this one is the biggest onion. It's decent. Obviously not grocery store size onions, but a lot of the purple onions are bigger than the white onions. Although I think this one's my biggest white onion, so that's not terrible. But overall, for the first time ever growing onions, I am proud that I got anything at all. This bed looks so weird when it's empty like that. So this bed is pretty much done. The beans are getting slower. I didn't get as many this time, even after going like 4 days without harvesting any, but the tomatoes are still producing a ton. I have a ton of jalapenos on here. I'm gonna save them for when I get back because they're still kind of small. I do have I mean, that last bed over there, the square one, is pretty much, the broccoli is just leaves. It never formed heads. The asparagus is going to take a couple years. Cucumbers, I got quite a bit of cucumbers, but the plants aren't doing so well anymore. That's okay. Sweet potatoes aren't going to be ready for a while. Corn, I have tassels on my corn. And a couple of ears are starting. That's super exciting. So there will still be quite a bit to harvest when I get home. But thanks for hanging out with me while I kind of got a lot of this done before I go on vacation, so my husband doesn't have to do all of it. So I'm gonna just give my garden a good drink, and thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you next time. Bye.